Hey everybody, Colin here, and wanted to come to you with this crypto market update. Um, hmm, a lot of people are shocked by what has happened in the market, and I always like to say, guys, that the charts do not lie. So this is a trend line that I've literally had up for months, right? And what we can clearly see here is nothing more than what was support. Once we break that support, that's the red flag. Here we are, 42,000. And once we didn't bounce off of this support and we broke down under it, came back up, got rejected, that immediately should have let us know there was further downside coming. So we went from 43,000, we came down to 33,000. So maybe 25%. Then we made a nice heroic run coming back up. But look, again, we met this trend line and again got rejected. 45,000. Back down to 34,000. Again, about, over 20%. We made a run again. Came back up, 45,000. Back down, 37. Then again, another attempt to try to break through this trend. But what is support? This line was support since October 2020. We have literally been above this line since October 2020. We are in 2022 right now, right? We're talking about over a year and a half. Over a year and a half of support. Now that we have broken below this, it wouldn't surprise me to have at least a year or a year and a half of resistance on this line. Okay. Now, again, after this last attempt at 48,000, almost 50,000, again, it was rejected by this line. And that last rejection, we've attempted it once, twice, three times, four times. Four times getting rejected on the weekly chart at that. The bigger the time frame, the stronger the move. What does that amount to? Look at that. 44, 46% drop. So guys, I didn't have to look at any news. Everybody's going to say, oh, it was the news, it was the war, it was stuff with Terra Luna, it was this, it was that. Guys, I say it all the time. Stop watching all of the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, all of the news. The charts tell you what you need to know. And what this chart is telling me right now is we need to come down and touch this red line. That's at 20K. 21, between 22 and 20K. I have been saying for the longest time that we need to come back. We never, after we broke through this $20,000 level, which was our resistance from 2017, we stayed under this line from 2017 almost 3 years, right? Practically 3 years we were below this line when we got rejected. Okay. And after 3 years of resistance, we broke up above this line and we never came back down and actually retested the $20,000 level. We never retested it. And if you're looking at real consolidation, you see it more like even around here. Between 12 and 14,000. Look at these two lines. This is actually where it was a stronger move breaking out from above 13,000. This wick goes to about 14,100. So I think in a worst case real capitulation type event, probably somewhere between 20,000 and 14,000. 20,000 is where I've always been looking for in terms of looking for a major bounce. Right here, we're going to get a major bounce here. I mean, 19,000. Let's look at where we are right now. 30 to 31,000. That's a 50% move in terms of just a bounce back to 29. That's almost a 50% bounce. So, but we have to, guys. It's the basics of support and resistance. It's the basics of it. We broke out from this level and we never came back down and retested. We never did. So it's no surprise. Again, this is the 200 moving average. Has there been any smaller time frame where we haven't had to come back down and touch the 200? See that? Here's the 200 on the 4 hour. Here's the 200 on the daily, right? This is the big one. Notice again, when we finally came down to, we hadn't touched the 200 on the daily since September 2020. Came back down here July 2021, almost a year. May 2021, sorry, right? Was when we finally came in. At the end of the day, you always have to come back and interact with the 200 moving average. It's just a matter of time. It's just an average, right? We did it on the daily. Now, here is the weekly. We have not touched it yet. We have to touch it. We have to touch it. It's not a matter of if, it's when. We have to touch it. And coming this close and breaking, even wicking down as a new low beyond this, there's no way that we don't come down to touch this line. There's just no way that we don't. Now, what am I expecting? And it could happen a whole lot faster, but I am expecting a relief rally. I was actually looking for it from anywhere around 30,000. I was looking for us to come back up to around 39 to 40K as a relief rally, right? Everyone will get excited again and all that stuff. And then 40,000, a 50% dip takes us down to 20,000. That's, to be honest, that's what I'm expecting. But you see this trend line here, once again, don't think that we're not, eventually, going to come up, and we have to get back above this trend line, right? We got to get back above it. If I'm drawing something else right here, right, then I look right here at those wicks. Even at the top of this trend line right here where we bounced twice, what does that say? 37 by the time we get back up, right? Closer to that $39,000 to $40,000 level that I was telling you guys about. So just draw support and resistance, guys. Support and resistance. Regardless of all of the news that you hear, it still boils down looking at the chart, identifying support and resistance. Where's our next level of support? Right here. 19.3 to 20K, 19 to 21K. And again, here's the confluence. This red line that we have not touched since, actually on the weekly, we have not touched the 200 moving average since March 2020. March 2020. Before that, it was a year before that, right? March 2019. Notice how much of a strong support level this 200 moving average is. From November 2018 to April 2019, this thing held us up. And then we took off and one last touch and then we rocketed. This is a very significant line. That's what the chart tells us. That it's a very significant line. And if we break that line, that's a multi-year bear market. I mean, we could be looking at this already. We could be looking at a year to 2 years bear market, which, if any of you have learned by now, you should see that these times are the times when you make the real money, the next run over the next 2 to 3 years. The insane profits and gains. This is where it's made when everyone is selling. This is where it's made. So anyway, I just wanted to show that to you, as everybody's coming up with the different theories of why this happened. Nothing goes up forever. It's a market cycle, guys. It's a market cycle. But look, I mean, clearly, this was our ceiling. And we have never come back down to confirm it as our new floor. We've never done it. Since we broke it, we have not done it. So we have to do it. And that's healthy. Coming down and settling above 20,000. Oh, that would be beautiful. That's beautiful market structure there. So anyway, let's keep our eyes peeled for that. Like I said, I think worst case capitulation. Everybody thinks that the world is going to end. Might send us down here, 14.2 to so anywhere between 12 and 14,000. Possible, right? Nothing's impossible, but certainly heavy reaccumulation for me around those areas. And so I just wanted to share that. Please pay attention to it. And again, last thing, let's look at the monthly. Look at this. Right? This is the 20 moving average here. People like to use the 21, so I use the 20 so that I'm like a little step ahead, right, of what most people are doing. This 20 moving average was support, again, since here. June 2019. This line held us up as support until here. April 2022. Almost 2 whole years, this line held us up as support. So when we broke it, and not just broke it, we closed, like a full like that shows you that there's further downside. If you get a nice full candle like that and the bottom of it ends like that, there's more downside to come. And that was on the monthly, right? So, and again, look on the monthly. On the monthly, we were at 93 on the RSI. So if you ask me, when is going to be a good time to buy again? Well, let's see. First and foremost, we want this level of support to hold, which is about 44, right? Drawing a straight line across, I can already see. Can you see it? Look at the history of this line. Look here. Once we've broken above that, $418. Every time we've come down, we've had support. And so we're pretty much right on this line again. So we got to hope to hold some support right here on this line. Okay? So we got to hope to hold this line. If we go below this, that will not be pretty. It will not be pretty, right? So anyway, again, look at the monthly though. Again, this trend line, we came up, we got rejected 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. 3 months we were trying to break. We made multiple attempts against this line. So when you're using the bigger time frames, it really helps you make decisions for the long-term swings. What this tells us, we have some downward. We're going to spend some time down here. This is on the monthly move. And we broke below this 20 moving average now. And we came up and got rejected on that green line. Again, a bigger push to the downside. So zoom out to see the big picture, guys. Zoom out to see the big picture. So, but at the end of the day, crypto is here to stay. This didn't just happen in crypto. What's happening in the stock market, all of that stuff. It's happening everywhere. Don't be discouraged. Crypto is here to stay. It's not going to go away because the people won't let it go away. So yeah, the big institutions selling off, making their profits, yada, yada, yada. Take it as a learning experience. Watch the coins that you're in. Stay in the solid, worldwide accepted coins, right? Stay in those ones. If you're going to stay. And in terms of accumulation, same thing, right? Accumulate those coins that have the highest potential of being around long term. And I'm sure you know, what the number one is. and even what the number 2 is. But there are a lot of really good, solid projects that are going to be around, that are going to stay around and use these opportunities for continue to build infrastructure and stuff. So, you know, as you look to accumulate, then that's where you accumulate. So, okay, everybody. Hope that you found this useful. And until next time, take care.